Have you ever noticed how the moment a problem appears in your life, your first instinct is to push it away, to resist it, to wish it would just disappear? We all do it. Problems feel heavy, uncomfortable, even threatening. But what if I told you that every single problem you face is actually an invitation, a secret door calling you to create, to grow, and to discover something new within yourself? Imagine looking at life and seeing problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities wrapped in disguise. That shift alone changes everything. Think about it. A problem forces you to pause. It interrupts your usual routine, your predictable patterns. And in that pause, in that discomfort, your mind has no choice but to expand. It has to think differently. It has to find a way forward where none seems obvious. That's where the magic happens. Problems push you out of your comfort zone and demand creativity. They demand courage. And every time you rise to meet them, even in small ways, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Let me tell you something important. Growth never happens in perfect conditions. Comfort zones do not create breakthroughs. Smooth roads do not lead to invention. It's in the bumps, the detours, the dead ends, and the roadblocks that life hands you the chance to become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Problems are the spark that ignites innovation. They force you to see possibilities that you would never have noticed if everything had gone exactly as planned. Every problem contains a lesson, a skill, or an idea hidden within it, if only you choose to look for it. And here's the thing. Your perspective is the key. When you see a problem as an obstacle, it becomes a weight you carry, a chain that limits you. But when you see it as an invitation, it becomes a challenge you get to meet, a puzzle waiting to be solved. You begin to notice patterns, discover solutions, and even uncover strengths you didn't know you had. It's like a door that only opens when you stop resisting and start exploring. That's why some of the greatest achievements in history came from people who didn't run from problems. They leaned in, they asked, how can I turn this into something meaningful? And in doing so, they created something new. You don't have to start with monumental problems. Even small difficulties can become invitations if you give yourself permission to see them that way. A disagreement with a friend can teach empathy. A failed exam can teach strategy and focus. A rejection from someone or something you hoped for can teach patience, perseverance, and resilience. Each problem, each challenge is a chance to stretch your mind, expand your heart, and sharpen your creativity. And here's the secret. The more you treat problems as invitations, the less fear they hold over you. They no longer paralyze you. They no longer make you feel stuck. Instead, they become opportunities to practice courage, to experiment, to explore, and to rise above. You begin to understand that life isn't about avoiding problems. It's about learning to dance with them, to transform them, and to let them guide you towards something you never could have imagined otherwise. So the next time a problem comes your way, pause before you panic. Breathe. Remind yourself that this is not a roadblock, it's a doorway. It's not something to avoid, it's something to engage with. Problems are not your enemies. They are invitations to step into a new version of yourself, to create, to innovate, and to rise. Life becomes far more exciting, far more empowering, when you start seeing every challenge as a chance, a gift, and a call to action. It's so easy to let fear take the driver's seat when life throws challenges our way. Fear whispers in our ears, telling us to stay small, to hide, to wait for the perfect moment that may never come. It convinces us that mistakes are dangerous, that failure is permanent, and that stepping into the unknown is too risky. But here's the truth. Fear only has the power we give it. The moment we decide to look at life through a lens of curiosity instead, everything changes. Curiosity is the antidote to fear. It turns hesitation into exploration, uncertainty into discovery, and anxiety into opportunity. When you shift from fear to curiosity, problems no longer feel threatening. They feel intriguing. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You start asking, what can I learn from this? Or what is possible here that I haven't seen before? That simple change in question opens your mind. It allows you to step closer to solutions rather than retreating from the situation. Curiosity doesn't eliminate difficulty, but it transforms how you experience it. It turns challenges into experiments and obstacles into invitations to explore new ideas, new strategies, and even new ways of being. Think about a child for a moment. Children are naturally curious. They stumble, they fall, they make mistakes, yet they don't fear the unknown. They investigate it. They ask questions, try again, and explore without the weight of doubt or worry. That is the mindset we need to reclaim as adults. Life doesn't always hand us clear instructions, and the paths we take are rarely straight. But when we approach each challenge with curiosity, we give ourselves permission to explore, to experiment, and to discover solutions that we might have never imagined while gripped by fear. Curiosity also shifts the way we relate to failure. Fear tells us that failure is the end of the story, but curiosity reframes it as part of the journey. Each misstep becomes a clue, each mistake a lesson, and each challenge an opportunity to grow. When you are curious, you start seeing possibilities rather than limitations. You begin to ask, how can I make this work? Or what can I create out of this situation? Even problems that once seemed impossible suddenly become playgrounds for new ideas, new approaches, and new paths forward. And here's the beauty of curiosity. It is contagious. Once you start asking questions instead of running from discomfort, your mindset expands. You notice opportunities you hadn't seen before. You hear solutions where there once was silence. You see connections where there once was only chaos. Fear narrows your world, but curiosity opens it wide. It invites you to explore not just the world around you, but the potential within you that you may have forgotten existed. This isn't about ignoring danger or pretending life isn't difficult. It's about changing the way you respond to it. Curiosity doesn't make problems disappear, but it changes your relationship with them. You move from being a passive observer, trapped by fear, to an active creator, empowered by questions. You begin to see life as a series of experiments, each with the potential to reveal something new, something exciting, something transformative. So the next time fear creeps in, don't fight it with resistance. Don't let it stop you. Instead, lean into curiosity. Ask questions, explore possibilities, step closer, even if just a little. When you do, you'll notice something incredible. Fear loses its grip, and the world opens up with opportunities you never imagined. The challenges you once dreaded become adventures. The unknown becomes a playground, and my moment becomes a chance to create, to learn, and to grow. Curiosity turns fear into fuel, hesitation into action, and problems into possibilities. Embrace it and watch how life unfolds in ways you never thought possible. There's a saying that necessity is the mother of invention, and it's true. The greatest ideas, the most innovative solutions, and the most remarkable creations often come from moments of struggle, from situations where everything seems to be against us. Difficulty is not the enemy of creativity, it is its spark. When life pushes you into corners, when resources are limited, and when the path ahead is unclear, your mind is forced to think differently. Constraints are not walls, they are the soil where creativity grows. Think about it for a moment. How many inventions, breakthroughs, or powerful works of art were born in the middle of struggle? When conventional paths fail, when the usual solutions are exhausted, creativity steps in. It thrives where certainty ends and challenge begins. That's the magic of difficulty. It awakens the part of you that is resourceful, imaginative, and courageous. It forces you to look at the world from a new angle, to experiment with ideas you might have ignored if everything had been easy. When we face challenges, it is tempting to focus on what we don't have, the missing time, the limited tools, the obstacles in our way. But the creative mind doesn't focus on what is missing, it focuses on what is possible. It asks, how can I make this work? Instead of, why is this happening to me? It sees limits not as restrictions, but as invitations to explore, adapt, and innovate. Every problem, every difficulty, every unexpected turn becomes a blank canvas, waiting for your imagination to fill it. Creativity in difficulty is not just about grand solutions or monumental achievements. It is also about small, everyday innovations. It is in finding a new way to approach a challenge at school, work, or home. It is in thinking differently when a plan fails or when life does not unfold as expected. It is in noticing opportunities that others overlook because they are too focused on what is wrong or impossible. Even small acts of creative thinking can transform a difficult moment into a turning point, a learning opportunity, or a breakthrough that shapes your journey in ways you never imagined. And here's something important to remember: difficulty also builds confidence in your creative abilities. Each time you face a challenge and find a way forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable of solving problems, even when the odds are against you. That confidence compounds, making it easier to tackle the next challenge and the next and the next. Your creativity becomes stronger not despite difficulty, but because of it. It's also worth noting that creativity in hardship often carries a depth and authenticity that is hard to achieve otherwise. When you are tested, when you are pushed beyond your comfort zone, your ideas come from a place of real understanding, real need, and real experience. They are solutions that matter, that resonate, and that have the power to make a difference, not just for yourself, but for others. Difficulty gives your creativity purpose. It gives it direction. It gives it meaning. So the next time you face a difficult situation, resist the urge to see it as purely a burden. Look closer and ask yourself how this challenge could inspire something new, how it could push you to think differently, how it could awaken a creativity that you didn't know existed. The obstacles, the limitations, the unexpected twists, they are not meant to stop you. They are meant to ignite you, to push you to experiment, to innovate, and to grow in ways that ease and comfort never could. Remember, creativity does not thrive in calm waters. It thrives when the waves are high, when the current is strong, and when you are forced to navigate uncharted territory. Every challenge is an invitation to create, to imagine, and to discover solutions that are uniquely yours. Step into the difficulty, trust your mind, and watch how the challenges you once feared become the moments where your greatest ideas are born. We live in a world that often glorifies success and fears failure. From a young age, we are taught to avoid mistakes, to stay within the lines, and to aim for perfection. But the truth is, failure is not the enemy. It is the most honest teacher you will ever have. Every failure, every setback, every moment when things don't go as planned is not a judgment on your worth or ability. It is an experiment. It is a chance to gather information, to test a theory, and to learn something you could never learn without stepping into the unknown. Think about it. When you try something new, whether it's learning a skill, starting a project, or reaching for a goal that feels just out of reach, the possibility of failure is always there. But that possibility is not meant to scare you. It is meant to guide you. It tells you where the gaps are, where the adjustments need to be made, and where your thinking can expand. Failure is the feedback loop that allows you to refine your approach, sharpen your skills, and grow stronger. The moment you begin to see failures not as endpoints but as experiments, everything changes. You stop fearing mistakes and start seeking lessons. You stop avoiding risk and start embracing possibility. Every great innovation, every breakthrough in history, every moment of personal achievement is built on countless failures that came before it. Inventors, artists, leaders, and pioneers did not get to where they are by never stumbling. They got there by experimenting, by trying, by falling, and by learning with every step. Each failed attempt was not a mark of defeat. It was a critical piece of data, a signpost guiding them closer to success. And the same is true for you. Each time something doesn't work out, it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your next experiment. Failures also teach humility and patience, which are essential for real growth. They remind us that progress is rarely a straight line, and that the journey matters as much as the destination. When we fail, we are forced to pause, reflect, and consider new ways of doing things. That reflection is what fuels creativity, innovation, and wisdom. Without failure, we risk believing that everything must come easily, that every step should be smooth, and that perfection is possible. But true progress comes when we embrace imperfection, when we understand that each misstep is an opportunity to adjust our course and try again with greater insight. The key is to adopt a mindset that views failure as a tool, not a judgment. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of giving up when things go wrong, ask, "How can I tweak my approach?" Curiosity combined with resilience turns failure into one of your most powerful allies. It gives you the freedom to experiment boldly, to test ideas without fear, and to keep moving forward, knowing that each attempt brings you closer to something extraordinary. And here's the most important part. Failure is not permanent unless you allow it to be. What makes someone successful is not that they never fail, but that they never stop experimenting. They learn, adapt, and persist. Every no you receive, every plan that doesn't unfold as expected, every moment of disappointment is a lesson disguised as a challenge. The sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner you free yourself from fear and hesitation, and the sooner you unlock the door to growth, creativity, and achievement. So the next time you stumble, the next time a plan falls apart, or the next time life doesn't go the way you hoped, remember this: failure is not a verdict. It is an experiment. It is data guiding you, lessons teaching you, and opportunities waiting for you to apply what you've learned. Treat every failure as a step forward, as part of your journey, and as a chance to create something better, stronger, and more meaningful than before. Your experiments will lead you to discoveries you never imagined, to solutions you never saw coming, and to success that is not just measured by results, but by the courage, growth, and resilience you cultivated along the way. We often look at change and growth as something monumental. We think that in order to succeed, to overcome, or to create something extraordinary, we need a massive breakthrough, a single moment that transforms everything at once. But the truth is, transformation rarely happens in one leap. Real change comes in small, consistent steps, the tiny actions that accumulate over time and eventually reshape your life in ways you could never have predicted. Every small effort matters, every small choice counts, and every small step forward is a victory in itself. Think about planting a tree. You don't just drop a seed and expect a full-grown tree the next day. You water it, care for it, watch it grow slowly. Some days, you may not even notice progress, but with patience, persistence, and consistency, what once was a tiny seed becomes a strong, towering tree. Life works the same way. The small steps you take, an extra hour spent learning, a kind word spoken, a difficult conversation faced, or a new habit built, each one adds up. They are the building blocks of transformation. The power of small steps lies in their simplicity. When challenges seem overwhelming, it's easy to freeze, to feel stuck, and to think that you're incapable of moving forward. But when you break the challenge into smaller, manageable steps, you regain control. The problem doesn't feel insurmountable anymore. You realize that progress is not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something, anything, consistently. One small action leads to another, momentum builds, and before you know it, you are further than you ever imagined. Consistency is the quiet engine behind all remarkable achievements. It's not flashy, and it doesn't always get noticed, but it is unstoppable. Every great skill you've mastered, every goal you've achieved, every habit you've built, none of it happened overnight. It happened through repetition, dedication, and the courage to keep taking steps, even when results weren't immediately visible. Every time you choose to act instead of procrastinate, to try instead of hesitate, to learn instead of complain, you are shaping your future in ways that multiply over time. And the beauty of small steps is that they reduce fear. Big leaps can feel intimidating. Massive goals can feel impossible. But a single step, just one step forward, feels achievable. That step builds confidence, and confidence fuels the next step. You don't have to see the entire staircase to start climbing. You just have to move forward. With each small step, the path becomes clearer, the destination more reachable, and the journey less daunting. Small steps also allow for experimentation and learning along the way. You can try, adjust, and improve as you move forward, rather than waiting to get everything perfect before you start. Each small step is a mini experiment, a chance to learn what works, what doesn't, and how you can refine your approach. Over time, these incremental adjustments create breakthroughs that would never have been possible without starting small. So never underestimate the impact of consistent small actions. They transform challenges into opportunities, obstacles into progress, and dreams into reality. Every time you choose to do a little more, to push a little further, or to try again despite setbacks, you are investing in the future version of yourself. Transformation is not about giant leaps. It's about the steady, persistent steps that accumulate into something extraordinary.